Breaking news overnight. Want to get right to that. Apple is refusing to follow a government order to hack the San Bernardino shooter's phone. The FBI believes important clues about accomplices and more plots could be hidden on that phone, but Apple says that complying with the government order could endanger everyone with an iPhone. ABC's Pierre Thomas has all the latest from Washington. Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning, George. That's right. It's a showdown between the FBI and Apple. The FBI trying to force Apple to open that iPhone as it desperately hunts for clues in the San Bernardino massacre. Apple saying no way. And this morning, a federal court is weighing in. A federal judge in California ordering Apple to help the FBI unlock an iPhone used by Syed Farook, who went on a murderous rampage with his wife, leaving 14 dead in San Bernardino.
We still have one of those killer's phones that we have not been able to open. Right, it's been over 2 months now. We're still working on it.
The ruling could be a key victory in the FBI's long-running battle with Apple and other tech companies over the government's ability to access encrypted data on smartphones and tablets. Apple vowing to appeal, saying it would put the privacy of hundreds of millions of customers at risk. The company telling us overnight the government is asking Apple to hack our own users. We fear that this demand would undermine the very freedoms and liberty our government is meant to protect. The FBI has been unable to get into the smartphone because it did not have Farook's numerical code to open the device. The Bureau fears that 10 unsuccessful attempts to open the Apple phone would cause it to automatically erase key data and make the phone permanently inaccessible.
The battle is the traditional one between the security of society at the cost of individual privacy.
But that security feature a critical roadblock. The FBI has been unable to get inside the phone to look at texts or emails, which might help determine who Farook and his wife Malik may have been communicating with to plan the attacks and where they might have traveled before the massacre. Investigators are desperate to find out what happened in an 18-minute gap between the attack and the couple's deadly encounter with law enforcement. The couple allegedly swore allegiance to the leader of ISIS, and the FBI wants to know the extent of ISIS involvement, if any. The FBI says that phone may hold the critical answers, but the security on that phone is precisely what customers want if their phone is stolen or lost. So it's privacy versus security in a legal fight that could go all the way to the Supreme Court. George?
Okay, Pierre, let's talk to our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, about this. Such a momentous case right here, Dan. And Apple is likely to be under tremendous pressure, but what exactly does the law require of it?
Well, look, up to this point, the legal standard has been reasonable technical assistance, right? Helping with a password is no big deal. But now these new phones have become so technologically advanced that at this point, to offer the assistance that the government needs, they have to literally create a whole new system to backdoor these phones. And Apple's basically saying, look, once we create this, it's going to get out. And as a result, everything we've built in terms of protecting security and privacy is going to be out the door. So this is one of those ultimate battles between the government's right to get information for an investigation versus typically it's the media fights very often for the right to know. Here you have Apple saying it's the privacy of our users.
Apple adding the argument that it could actually endanger people with iPhones as well.
Because the minute they create this, they say it's going to get out. And as a result, no one's going to be safe, is what Apple's saying. Really interesting legal issue.
Yeah.